what is the film genre suggested in all of your products? Well, my 3 products. Well, starting off with the genre, I chose to do horror and thriller because that seemed one of the easiest but yet one of the hardest genres to do. Because with the horror you've got to get the theme right, otherwise it's going to be a comical and it won't look scary. I've seen many films in the past where they've tried to make it look scary but it's not, i.e. Sweeney Todd. That was rubbish. But looking at my film poster, I feel that has been one of my strongest points. It's amazing. I feel that here you can clearly see that this is a thriller slash horror film poster because of the use of the red and black. Red is representing blood, fear, violence, maybe a bit of romance. You'll never know unless you watch the film. The colour black seems to be really taking over the poster almost, because 2/3 of it is black and the rest of it is maybe a bit of blonde, red, white and green. I really feel that by enabling myself to link all my products together has made me understand the film industry even more. Because now I'm able to create a poster for the film, a magazine front cover and a trailer, and I'm able to make them all look the same. Because if you look at my trailer, I've used the same girl and she was basically having a massive breakdown, you know? Because she's like running around, she's heavily drinking, and when I edited the trailer I wanted to emphasise the fact that she's going crazy, so towards the end of the trailer I wanted to have Abby being chased around by her inner soul after she read the curse that Charlie gave her. But Abby was too stubborn to believe that it won't happen, so she read it out and boom, she got a curse. And that's why at the end of the trailer she's running around trying to get away from this, because everyone else thinks she's going mad but she knows she's not, because she can see Abby too, which is the one in the white coat. So I'm trying to signify that Abby too isn't real, she's more like a ghost, kind of, because when ghosts have been represented in horror films or psychological thrillers or horror thrillers, they've always been white or they've been grey and black, like in the Harry Potter films with the Dementors sucking out the souls. But I feel that by having Abby too in the white dress, it's not a dress, it's more like a white coat, like when you go to a mental hospital you're strapped up in those straitjackets. That's what I wanted it to signify, because when Abby starts to go crazy towards the end of my trailer, i.e. and in the film, I want Abby, one, to be running around trying to get away, trying to find a way out of this hell. And in the film poster, I feel that linking that with my teaser trailer, I can do that really well. Because by having the black rim around Abby's face, I did actually take that through a mirror, so it's a reflection, but I wanted the image to signify hope, maybe, that she wants to get out, she wants to escape, she feels like she's stuck in this life that she can't get out of. But I also wanted Abby to also kind of look like the innocent in all this, maybe as if she wasn't real, because white kind of signifies purity and all the nice things in life. With the Mirrors film poster, I feel that by having, I've also noticed on the Mirrors 2 film poster they haven't put any information about when it's out, when it's due, who's starring, etc, etc. But I feel that the shattered glass has kind of influenced me to kind of take an image of Abby, aka me, behind a mirror or in front of it. I took the picture of the reflection of myself because I felt that it would get the best result of how Abby's feeling in the middle of the film. Because when she reads out the Chinese spell, she thinks, oh ha ha, it's gonna be okay, but she wakes up the next morning and everything doesn't feel right. And I feel that by having that in my teaser trailer has enabled me to follow the horror and thriller genre. Because looking at my teaser trailer, I've started off with loads of shots just flicking past. I got the idea for that from the teaser trailer for Forever Waiting, I think it's called, and Seventh Moon, because there's so many fast shots you can't even count how many there are in Seventh Moon. Because in Seventh Moon you start off with the happy couple, just got married in China, they're enjoying the Chinese festival, and then they go for a drive to, I think it's a family home, I've seen the movie but I can't remember, and then the car stops, and as the car stops she notices a full moon, and this weird creature comes along and attacks a car, and the main character, the guy, gets taken away and he's turned into one of the creepy monsters. Typical horror story, but hey, but at the end it has a twist. It's got a love scene at the end that you wouldn't expect. It's really scary, it's only a 15, but I feel that by having the twist on the end has enabled the makers and the producer of Seventh Moon to add something different to the horror genre, which is what I wanted to do, because I didn't want to go with the whole gore and guts and blood and dead bodies hanging everywhere. I don't want to go with the typical horror genre, because the trouble is with the media today, everything's moving so quickly and people get bored of the same genres over and over. Like for instance, the actor Jennifer Aniston, every part that she's played since Rachel and Friends has always been the same, so she's practically been playing the same part for most of her life, which is kind of what happens in the film genres. And you get so many films being brought out now from the same genres, or they're mixing genres and then sub-mixing them with other ones, but I don't really think that's working anymore. And I think that the media industry needs a fresh new look, and thinking about how they can portray and display the genre horror without it looking like the Saw films or 28 Days Later, and I hate that film. I did feel that trying to get the genre horror and thriller horror genre across was really hard, because if you don't do it right, it's not going to look very good, and it's kind of going to look a bit gay, if that's the word to use, and a bit comical maybe. Like in the scary movies, they've basically taken the mick out of all the horror films that have recently come out. But in my teaser trailer, I wanted to do something a bit different. I decided to display a series of shots with a TV flickering through to kind of give the viewer, well, to grab the viewer's attention, because sometimes people aren't really paying attention. And I enhanced the decibels to about 6 on the TV noise and the bleep, the no signal noise after the first few shots. I can't remember how many shots I put in my trailer at the beginning, but there's quite a lot. I do feel that by having a series of shots at the beginning, then about how Abby wants to change her life and she's only got one chance to get it back, and then showing her how she's trying and she's trying to get back, but then the audience is left thinking, well, what actually is the mitre? What is the curse? Because I haven't given anything away in my trailer, which I feel is a really good thing to do, because I found when I've watched loads of thriller, I feel like when I've watched loads of thriller, what are they called? I feel that when I've watched loads of thriller teaser trailers or trailers, it's given away so much that I don't even need to watch the film, which is really annoying, because sometimes I really like it but I don't feel the need to watch it because I've got so much information from the trailer that I've been able to put everything together and basically see what happens. But in my teaser trailer, I want the audience to be kept guessing, because some shots that I've actually put in there have only been in there to confuse the audience and they're not actually in the film. But I feel that by incorporating no diegetic sound, it has enabled me to show the world that I can edit without adding in diegetic sound. So by using non-diegetic sound has then enabled my teaser trailer to be better than some others in my class, because they've added in sounds of heartbeats, crunching in leaves, twigs snapping and other things, but I don't think that really works. Unless you can do the diegetic sound really well and you've recorded it on scene, it's not going to work. Because half the time you're downloading it for free and then you get that horrible downloading quality. But anyway, I feel that I kind of have really represented it really well, like the genre of the horror films, because when I've used the text in the film, I did a lot of research into text, and quite a lot of them kept the text the same all the way all throughout. Like in Adventureland, they kept it all orange. I think it was like a white or yellow font over the top, quite big blocky font. And I fiddled around with Adobe Premiere Pro, and I managed to find this really cool cracked text. I instantly fell in love with it, because I couldn't find any text on the internet that I could download onto my college computer, because they don't let you do anything on those computers, which is annoying. And when I was fiddling around with it, I was like, oh yeah, I found a really cool text. And I'm really happy that I managed to keep the text, the size, and kind of everything really similar throughout, so that it all flows. There's no jumpiness. Like with my editing, I spent months editing that trailer. Like it'd take me a lesson to do a couple of shots just to make sure they were perfect. And I feel that's really helped me to get the genre across really strong. Like some people's trailers who I've seen, you know, they've only spent a couple of hours on it and you can see that it's not as good. I feel that because it's really jumpy and everything, I feel that by overlapping my shots in my teaser trailer has created a different effect, kind of, because I've watched a lot of teaser trailers, snippets of films, you know, a teaser of a trailer, like that's what the Twilight Saga is doing at the moment with like Breaking Dawn Part 1, Breaking Dawn Part 2, which is the last film, thank God. But yeah, I kind of feel like by overlapping the shots, having two different shots playing together at the same time, like one with Abby 1, one with Abby 2 over the top, or vice versa, or just Abby and Abby 2, has really, I don't know, given my trailer a sort of a unique sort of feel and edge to it. Because I've used my own voice over the top. The voices have all come from when we were filming. I've not used other voice clips with other voice clips. I thought that all the screams, words I'd speak, I'd just use. I do feel that I follow conventions with the drinking, the almost killing myself, the suicide, the running away, the it's kind of not a psychological thriller, because it's not, but I really do feel that I have followed and I haven't, because I've used the I've used the black and red text all the way throughout in my film poster, in my front cover, and in my teaser trailer. Because the text in my teaser trailer, I used the fade in and fade out in my film poster. I've used black and red, and I've incorporated white into it, and then I've followed that on into my front cover, which I feel has already flowed together, because I've used the background, which is white, which is contrasting with my film poster. But I kind of I want to be able to reach out to all my target audience, because as I've gone for the indie scene kids, because they don't like anything mainstream, I feel that it's kind of reaching out to the girls, the boys and the in between, because I feel like the girls are more likely are going to pick up the magazine front cover because it's really girly, but then it's really masculine at the same time, because there's nothing there to suggest that it's a girls' magazine. But having the girl on the front cover with the geeky glasses, as you call them, and the name Noah, schoolboy to heartthrob, that's kind of suggesting that that's aimed at girls. But then having James Cameron's Sea Adventure, then that's going to really more be targeted at the male audience, because I'm not really going to be interested in a sea adventure that James Cameron did unless he makes it into a film, which is what he's currently doing. But I feel that I've been able to hang on a second, where's the question? But yeah, I feel like being able to target all of my audience in 3 products, I feel like is a really good thing to do, especially in one product, like my teaser trailer, my film poster, well, all of them, you know? Like my film poster, by having the girl in the middle, she looks sexy, she looks ambiguous, she looks kind of like she doesn't know what she's doing. Also, she looks scared, hopeless, she's looking for hope, a way out, like she's trapped. Like almost as if you're expecting to see the arms banging up against it in the minute that she's trapped. Almost as if Abby 2 is trying to escape and take over her life, which Abby 1 doesn't want to happen because she likes living her life. I do also feel that by enabling myself to target the indie scene kids is a really hard market, because they're kind of niche but they're not mainstream, so they're kind of in the middle, if that makes sense, because they don't like anything that's mainstream, which is a really hard thing to do because everything seems to be getting mainstream these days. But you know, to me, they're more likely to go to a cinema. But I do also feel that, going back to the genre, that I feel that by not having loads of blood, loads of like bed sheets everywhere, like a scary monster with a mask, or needles running all over the place, people running and screaming, whole towns and villages getting gobbled up, fire, I feel like going back to the basics can really bring out the best in a film, like in the film like Little Miss Sunshine. You know, they used the basics in theirs and it really worked. Like in other films such as Girlfriend, they've not used any fancy special effects like in the Harry Potter movies when they had the bridge moving all over the place, people flying to Hogwarts and stuff. I feel that by using the basics it can really change a film, and I feel that the audience can really relate to it, because if you have someone flying or someone squirting a web out of their hands, they're not going to be able to really relate to it unless they dress up as it and play roleplay games. But I feel that as my target audience is more of maybe the mid-teens to young adolescents to kind of young adults, I feel that because they have more of a disposable income from their parents and student loans and their first time job, they'll maybe have more money to be able to buy the film poster, to buy the magazine that the front cover will be on, and to be able to watch a teaser trailer on YouTube, because they'll be able to afford internet, because they'll still be living at home or at uni. So yeah, for that, from looking back at my teaser trailer, I feel that yes, I could have done things better, but I really do feel that it has created a really big genre of the horror and thriller, because it's thrilling the audience, because nobody knows what's going on, you know. My idea for the film is constantly changing, but I've actually got it set, so when people ask me what happens, I explain it to them and they're like, oh my gosh, you wouldn't expect that. I'm like, I know. But thinking about it though, I feel that by having quite a disturbing but yet clueless and inquisitive, is that the word to use, teaser trailer, will then people will more likely to share it, because they're like, oh my god, oh my god, dude, babe, friend, mum, look at this, it's amazing, you know, what do you think is going to happen? Because I have had a lot of people look at my teaser trailer and they're like, oh my gosh, you know, when's the film coming out? I'm like, I haven't made the film, I just made the teaser trailer for my media work. You know, people have like sat there and spoke to me about it. They've like tried to understand like, what is the Cursed Mitre? What does it mean? Like, someone called it a bishop's hat, but it's actually a Chinese, what's it called? A Chinese legend, an ancient Chinese legend. And I feel that by having that, you know, that twist on the film has really, I don't know, added an almost a new feel to the genre horror and thriller. I don't know. Really do feel that by having the colour scheme and not following codes and conventions for horror films has really enabled me to create a really strong and subtle theme between them all. You know, if you place them all together or with a series of other film posters, front covers and teaser trailers, you'd be able to pick up my three. My three are truly unique. There's no other three like it in the world, which I feel is a really good thing. I worked really hard on creating these, and I feel that being able to create a theme between them all is a really special thing to do. Because, like, I've looked at some film posters and then at the front cover of the magazine, like for Total Film, you know, for Total Film, I've looked at like the Harry Potter front cover, for instance. That's been totally different to how the film's been, or to how the producer or editor created the film poster, which I kind of feel is maybe adding a new feel to it, but maybe having too many different products for one film isn't the wisest of moves to do, because then it's going to confuse the audience. Because if, for instance, say my film poster was on a bus or at a bus stop or a billboard, and they saw that, oh, I really want to see that film, and then if they open up, like if they go into the newsagents and then they see the Curse of the Mitre on the front cover, they go, oh, I don't know about that, I don't know if I want to see that, but I really want to see that film that's all there. And then if the teaser trailer then is totally different, like if it's on an ad break on TV, then it's totally different to the other two that they've seen in the day, they're going to be so confused. They're thinking, well, but I kind of want to see it in the first one, but I don't like the other two that followed. But if then say they say that hadn't happened and they saw the Curse of the Mitre film poster on the side of a bus stop, I really want to see that, and then they get the bus to the newsagents and they go in the newsagents and they see the magazine journal, they pick it up and go, oh my gosh, this looks amazing, you know, I've seen the film poster and the magazine, oh my god, the reviews for it are amazing, I need to see this. And they're obviously then going to go home and watch telly and maybe research it online. But say for instance they didn't have a computer and they only had the telly and they saw it in the telly, you know, it would then be confirmed and set in their mind that they'd have to see this because it's so confusing, you know. They all link and they all have a thing, but nobody knows what the Curse of the Mitre is, you know. You don't even get a slight hint from the teaser trailer, the film poster or the front cover. Even in the magazine interview, nothing is given away. Right, which I think is a really good thing to do, because it's almost like keeping a secret from everybody. Like, people will be talking about it, you know, like when they come out of the cinema they'll write reviews on the internet, which is then involving Webpoint 2.0. They'll be then emailing their friends, tweeting, vlogging on YouTube, you know, giving reviews on it, and then people will be giving reviews back, and then I've seen this all the time, people have arguments, they go RE, social hater 111, then they'll go blah blah blah, then they'll fight back, like they'll post a status, just seen the Curse of the Mitre, oh my gosh, did not expect that. Someone will then comment and then they'll go, oh my gosh, you have to see this. Then sometimes on Facebook you can see what people have been saying on other people's statuses that you aren't friends with. They can then see that and thinking, oh, I really want to see that film, and they've said it's really good, so I've got to go see it. And then if it's all over the TV and then all over this and that, then it all gets blown out of proportion, and then it could be the potential movie of the year, because like I said, nobody knows what happened, and like all my friends really want to know what the Curse of the Mitre means, but I won't tell them until I've handed in my media.